Hello everyone, my name is Priya Singh Range. I am an assistant professor at the LJ Institute of Physiotherapy, and today we'll be talking about the dangers and contraindications of infrared radiations. Now, in my previous videos, we have already discussed about the physiological and therapeutic effects of heat, as well as the physiological and therapeutic effects of infrared radiations. So today, moving on to the dangers and contraindications of IR radiations. The dangers of IR radiations include burns, skin irritation, electric shock, gangrene in areas of defective arterial blood flow, headache, faintness due to hypertension, injury to the eyes, and dehydration. So beginning with burns, which is the most important danger of IR radiations, burns usually occur in those patients which have lowered skin sensations, who may be having hypoesthesia or anesthesia. Since they are not able to perceive the sensation of warmth, they will not be able to convey us the intensity of or the warmth of heating that they are feeling, and can lead to burns. Another cause of burns can be in a patient who is mentally disturbed or in a patient who is masochistic. So they won't be able to convey, or they will not convey to us what they are feeling, the amount of warmth that they are feeling. Another cause of burns can be if the patient is not cooperative enough, or the patient is trying to touch the different objects in the surrounding. If the patient is going to touch the lamp which is hot, the patient is going to suffer from burns. This can be reduced by giving appropriate instructions to the patient, by a careful application, and asking regularly about the warmth that the patient is feeling, and always supervising the treatment on your own. So these are the different causes which can lead to burns in IR radiations. Another danger is skin irritation. Because of IR radiations, there is a release of certain chemicals. Also, in certain skin disorders like eczema, etc., there is a natural release of certain chemicals. These chemicals, under the impact of infrared radiations, can lead to damaging effects, hence leading to skin irritation or an increase in the acute condition that the person is suffering from. Another danger of IR radiations is electric shock. Electric shock can be sustained if the parts of the IR lamp, of the circuit of the IR lamp, are not insulated properly, or the patient comes in contact with a live wire. These can be reduced by appropriate servicing of the lamp, using good measures for preventing the patient to touch the unit, and preventing any other complications or any other situations that might lead to electric shock. Another danger is gangrene, which usually occurs in the areas of defective arterial blood flow. As we know that IR radiations lead to vasodilatation and hence an increase in the blood supply to the local area. But suppose if the arterial blood flow is compromised, what is going to happen then? There is going to be a vasodilatation, but there is not going to be an increase in the blood flow. There is going to be an increase in the demand of oxygen, in the demand of different nutrients. There is going to be increase in the local heating, the local warmth of the tissues, but there is going to be no blood which can dissipate that heat. This can lead to gangrene because the blood is not coming to the tissues. There is lack of blood supply in the particular area. There is going to be heating, and ultimately this can lead to gangrene. There also is hypotension, that is a fall in the blood pressure secondary to IR radiations, because as we know, infrared radiation application is going to cause vasodilatation. This vasodilatation leads to a fall in the blood pressure, which is also known as hypotension. Because of this hypertension, the patient can suffer from faintness, that is faint attacks, when the patient tries to get up after the IR application. Hence, we need to ask the patient to get up in a more graduated manner, and after taking adequate rest. Once we stop the IR application, the patient needs to rest for 5 to 10 minutes, and after that the patient needs to come up to the standing position in a graduated manner, going from supine lying to sitting, and then from sitting to standing. Also, this can lead to headache, because with an increase in the vasodilatation, an increase in the blood supply to whatever area is being treated, there is a reduction in the blood supply that is reaching to the brain, which can lead to headaches. There are also chances of injury to the eyes. Long-term application of IR radiations where the eyes are not protected can lead to defects in the cornea, in the retina, in the lens, etc., hence injuring the eyes. It can also lead to dehydration, because we know that heating is going to lead to sweating. Profuse sweating, increased sweating can lead to a reduction in the amount of water that is present in the body, hence leading to dehydration. So these are the different dangers of IR radiations: burns, skin irritation, electric shock, gangrene in the areas of defective arterial blood flow, headache, faintness due to hypertension, injury to the eyes, and dehydration. Now moving on to the contraindications. These are the different conditions where IR radiations are contraindicated. The first of them being impaired cutaneous thermal sensation. If the patient is having impaired cutaneous thermal sensation, the patient will not be able to know the amount of warmth that they are feeling. The patient will not be able to perceive the amount of heating and will not be able to let us know what is the warmth level. Hence, it might be possible that we may increase the intensity beyond the patient's tolerance, and it can lead to burns. Hence, impaired cutaneous thermal sensations are a contraindication for IR radiations. Another contraindication is defective arterial cutaneous circulation. As we know, IR leads to vasodilatation and an increase in the blood supply to the local area. If there is defective arterial cutaneous circulation, there is going to be no increase in blood supply, causing a reduction in the amount of blood that is present locally, leading to gangrene. Therefore, defective arterial cutaneous circulation is again a contraindication for IR. Patients having low level of consciousness because of drugs or any disease are also contraindicated to get infrared radiations, since they will not be able to perceive the warmth level and not be able to let us know what kind of warmth they are feeling. Acute skin diseases like dermatitis and eczema are also contraindicated, since IR can cause skin irritation in these conditions. Skin damage may occur due to deep X-ray therapy or other ionizing radiations if we are applying IR radiations along with these radiations. Defective blood pressure regulation is again a contraindication, because as we have seen previously in the dangers, IR can lead to hypotension. And in a patient who already is suffering from defective blood pressure regulation, regulating this pressure becomes even more difficult when IR is being applied. Acute febrile illness is also a contraindication, since the patient is already suffering from an increased amount of temperature. There is already an ineffective or defective thermal regulation inside the body, and we are applying IR, which is again going to lead to heating, which is again going to cause an imbalance in the thermal regulation, hence increasing the febrile illness. Therefore, the acute febrile illness is a contraindication. Skin tumors are also contraindications, because the application of IR can lead to an increase in the amount of cells that are being produced by causing an increase in the cell replication rate. So these are the contraindications of IR radiations: impaired cutaneous thermal sensations, defective arterial cutaneous circulation, patients having low level of consciousness due to drugs or disease, acute skin diseases like eczema, dermatitis, etc., skin damage due to deep X-ray therapy or other ionizing radiations, defective blood pressure regulation, acute febrile illness, and skin tumors. To summarize, IR radiations can lead to a lot of damaging effects like burns, electric shock, hypotension, dehydration, gangrene, etc., and therefore should be used with due caution. Here I conclude this video. Thank you.